Hello, cryptocurrency investors. My name is Reggie Mabry, and this is a very important report. CNBC's Rachael Maddow broke a story about the SWIFT system being hacked in 2016, and this has extraordinary implications for a usage case of Ripple XRP. The SWIFT system failed in 2016. It was hacked, forcing the Bank of Bangladesh to fork over billions of dollars. Listen to the report.
This is the SWIFT system, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, which sounds fake, but it's a real thing. It's an international system that thousands of banks and banking systems and businesses use to make financial transactions happen internationally. Well, in early 2016, hackers linked to North Korea got into that system, and they didn't destroy documents, they didn't steal documents, they didn't wipe documents off people's computer servers. In that attack, they actually created fake documents that looked almost like the real thing. And with those fake documents inside that system, they filed requests through the SWIFT system. They filed requests that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York should transfer. As a formal request, they received a formal request, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, they should transfer a whole lot of money from the Central Bank of Bangladesh to a random account that these hackers had access to in a third country. They filed a whole bunch of very official-looking requests that said the Fed in New York should make that transfer, basically from the Bangladeshi government to this offshore third-party account. In all, they requested that the Fed move about $1 billion that way. And most of those requests got rejected. The New York Times reported last year that one of the reasons that some of those requests were rejected is because the hackers tried to use the word foundation in one of their documents, and they spelled it foundation instead, which is an unusual typo. And that unusual typo stood out to some people who reviewed those requests. That blocked some of those requests from going through. And so no, $1 billion didn't get siphoned out of the Central Bank of Bangladesh and sent to North Korea. In fact, more than 90% of these requests got rejected. But even with 90% rejected, if you're asking for $1 billion, you might still get something. In the end, they still got $81 million approved through these fake transfer requests that they made. I mean, think about that. In 2016, North Korean hackers stole $81 million from the Central Bank of Bangladesh by convincing the Fed in New York to obey their fake request to transfer the money. $81 million. Not bad for a day's work, right? North Korean hackers also, it turns out, figured out a way to infect the computers of everyone who visited a relatively obscure banking website. The website of the banking regulator for the nation of Poland. Poland is not a financial hub. This is a random and somewhat technical part of the international banking system. Almost nobody's going to go to the website of the Polish banking regulator, except, of course, banks. But that was the point. By basically rigging that real website in Poland, these North Korean hackers were able to get their own malware into the computers of banks from all over the world who had visited that website. And they ended up stealing from and targeting banks through that scheme in Brazil and Chile and Mexico and Estonia and Venezuela and American banks too, including Bank of America. And you know, that's one way to survive crippling international financial sanctions. So you can keep building nuclear bombs and you can keep pouring high-end cognac down the throat of your dear leader. If you're cash poor and there's no legal way for you to get cash, well, then you might figure out some other creative ways to get cash.
Cryptocurrency investors, this has to be exciting news for the industry of blockchain. Here in this report, the SWIFT system was hacked, forcing the Bank of Bangladesh to fork over millions of dollars in a hack of the SWIFT system. Now, in this report, Ripple XRP is not mentioned, but the Bank of America, in fact, was mentioned. Could it be that the partnership of the Bank of America with Ripple XRP has much to do with the future of banking finance for that bank, and that the United States government has to find a solution to safeguard its financial integrity from these type of hacks. And we certainly know that the Bank of Bangladesh is certainly unhappy about this SWIFT hack. So this is exciting news for the blockchain industry. And my guess is that, again, the Bank of America is investigating Ripple XRP for the future of its financial banking security, and other countries should in fact follow this. Ripple XRP is the #1 solution, blockchain solution for the banking industry, and it is the biggest competitor of the failing SWIFT system. So this, in my opinion, is very, very exciting news. I hope other bloggers pick this news up and spreads it. This is important news for the entire blockchain industry, and certainly exciting news potentially for Ripple XRP to now safeguard as to introduce a solution to safeguard United States banking integrity, as well as international banking security. So look out. This is an exciting usage case for Ripple XRP, not only payments, but security, because the SWIFT system has failed enormously in this particular case.
Cash.